Welcome back to shed more light on the national dialogue in its second round. We have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Ibrahim, former Dean Business School at Ain Shams University. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. That's Professor Elatreby, the former Dean of Business School at Ain Shams University, and I'm happy and proud to be with you today.
We are very sorry. I apologize. Professor Elatreby. Yes, could you repeat the title again?
Former Dean of Business School at Ain Shams University.
Okay. Professor Elatreby, I have the pleasure to have you with us over the phone. Now the national dialogue is kicked off today in its second round. How do you assess the idea of launching the national dialogue?
It's a wonderful idea that we have this national dialogue, and it's enhancing our political life. And the only thing we need to do is applying the applicable ideas will go out of these wonderful meetings.
Yes. How do you weigh the success of the national dialogue in its first stage of the year 2022?
It was a great success. The only thing I have like a concern about that a lot of wonderful idea was said did not apply it by that time.
Yes. So during its first phase, the economic axis of the national dialogue have discussed many issues of concern to the Egypt Strait. What were the most important economic issues that had been tackled?
Most of them was the foreign exchange rate, inflation rate, interest rate, availability of goods and services. That was, I would assume, the four main points was discussed in that time.
Yes. So, Professor Elatreby, what would be the main economic topics which might be included in the dialogue's new economic axis during the second phase?
I would assume that enhancing exporting, enhancing and supporting production, supporting the small businesses, supporting the environment for investment in Egypt.
Yes. So, Professor Elatreby, the dialogue also discussed the formulation of the tourist map for Egypt and means of attraction, as well as means of stimulating tourism investment in all forms. So how do you evaluate the importance of this boosting the country's economy?
As a statistician, if you ask the majority of people in the world what are the top 10 wish lists for them, you will find that one of them is visiting Egypt and seeing the pyramids. So I would assume that we have to deal with this wonderful issue. And in this case, I would assume that we can copy what they are doing in the other countries, like, for example, for the airport, there should be a private company to manage the airport. There should be a company for luggage control. They should be having a private cleaning company for transportation from and into the airport. So we have to use the private sector as the other world is doing, of course, as far as not close to the national security of Egypt.
Yes, Professor Elatreby, the dialogue had completed its previous phase in respect of the right of public opinion as it belongs to the entire Egyptian society, of course. So what were the main social topics that the dialogue have tackled during its first phase?
Quality of education, quality of life, quality of health services, enhancing relation between people. We do need this part also.
Yes. So, Professor, the members of the National Dialogue Technical Secretariat included 70 young men and women. So, how do you see this?
It's a wonderful idea to include the new generation with us. That will be our future in Egypt, and that's a wonderful idea, and I'm very happy with it.
Yes. Professor Elatreby, what are your expectations concerning the success of the national dialogue in its second phase?
I would assume the most important thing that we have the experts in economics. We have to listen them carefully, and we have to apply what they are saying. That's number one. Number two, we have to support the people to do the production. In the meantime, we have to support exporting. And I expect a great success in this one. I am very optimistic. And also with what's happening in Ras Al Hikmah and the other projects, Egypt is coming to a good phase next time. And in the meantime, we have to be prepared for the future and long run, the coming days.
Yes, I thank you very much. We are going to a short break. Thank you, Professor Amr Elatreby, former Dean Business School in Ain Shams University. Thank you very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.